Welcome into this special edition of Sports Talk. We are here at the Macon Coliseum. Aaron Mukes, Morgan Jackson, and Aaron today. South Georgia came out with 2 state titles.
Man, I'm so excited. We will bury the lead, I guess you could say, because to bring back 2 state championships, it's something we haven't done since we've been here. Our first boys state championship, and I think the most exciting thing is watching all the crowds come in and out of the Macon Coliseum. South Georgia always shows up.
Yeah.
They always show up, and that made it even more exciting. Really excited to talk about these games and what these teams were able to do.
Yeah, shout out to Rochelle, shout out to Homerville, and I can't wait any longer. We might as well just get straight to the highlights.
Let's get it.
The Lady Pats trying to make history for the second consecutive season, a rematch of the 2025 title game. The semifinal hero picking up where she left off the first 6 for Wilcox from Talia Benjamin.
Yeah, when 24 is looking for her offense early, you have to be worried if you're an opponent. She's just so hard to defend. Her combination of size and athleticism, it's just unique.
Both offenses struggled tonight. Here, Kamari Martin forcing the turnover, 1 of 20 on the afternoon for the Tigers. And another one here. This time it turned into points.
The constant pressure, and when Shamari Martin gets into the open floor, well, it's night-night, as the kids would say. Through the contact and the foul, she was spectacular.
More from Benjamin again, getting to the basket. 2 more. She finishes with 20 in the game. The offense for the Lady Patriots comes alive in the final 16. Leslie Roberts struggled with her shot tonight, Aaron, but big down the stretch.
The key is she stayed ready. She knew that the guards would get in the lane, and whenever they needed a basket, they would dish it to her inside. She's open, which means she was going to get the open layups, and she would knock them down. 2 more down the stretch, big time for her.
Shamari Martin and Talia Benjamin both finished with double-doubles back-to-back for the Lady Pats, 48-39.
This game was decided basically in the third quarter. You guys won by 24 points. What made this one so tight?
I feel like it was just a really high intensity game, just knowing that we could go back to back. It was very frustrating in the beginning of the game, but just calming down and staying in the moment is really what helped us win this game.
It feels good to be back with my cousins, siblings, my family. It feels great.
Just how special is it, and how do you guys want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as a fun team that can get out and run with you, run with the best at that. Like, we the best of the best, so I feel like we should be remembered as the best of the best.
We set standards every year, and those standards of Lady Patriots basketball means that, hey, we're going to stick to these standards and we're going to do what we have to do to come back and get this win.
Talia Benjamin, the lady of the day, the lady of the night tonight, 20 points, 14 rebounds. I want to start with just her growth from last season. She even told me last year there were some rumors she might not play basketball. She didn't know if she was going to come back. Girl, you came back and you were the MVP in your team's second straight state championship.
Her confidence is so contagious. Like, she talked about knowing that they were a state championship contender pretty much when they walked off the floor last year, and you can see it. She leads by defense. She always talks about being a defensive leader, and if she doesn't have to score, she doesn't have to score. But her buckets are going to come because she's bigger than everybody else. But you mentioned it. Her poise, when they won, I don't know if you noticed, she was away from everybody, and you could see it like she's been here before. And she talks about, what she was able to do, but her double-double, she still wasn't satisfied with it.
You dropped a double-double, but you sounded disappointed with only 14 boards. Why did you only have 14 boards tonight?
Because they were putting me away from the paint, and I couldn't get back to rebound how I wanted to.
I don't want to go too far ahead, but looking at the future of this team, they're getting Talia Benjamin back down low. How big will that be for them in their hopes for a three-peat next year?
Yeah, when you get players like Talia back and you still have the great guard play from Shamari Martin, yes, you lose Araya, yes, you lose Leslie, but 3 of their starters are still coming back.
Yeah.
You got Kamari, who really took a step up this year, and then, Coach Kuhn's going to always have these girls ready. This is a team that we talked about last year, possibly being able to do something like this, create a legacy, somebody that might be able to three-peat. And right now, they got the job done for the second consecutive year. I think it's right there for the taking. I really do. This might be a situation where we see these exact same 2 teams again for a 3rd time in a row, because Washington Wilkes is also a young squad.
Yeah, you talk about the youth of both of these teams. Although both of them had been here before, not a clean game to start for either team.
No, really. The turnovers early on was a big deal, and you could see it. Wilcox never really looked like themselves, and I think that was a big deal. But the defense that they play always shows up. And that's one thing that can translate no matter how your offensive game looks, the turnovers. I think when you have defense like they have and the pressure that they put on the ball, it showed tonight because it was a low-scoring game, and you had to get the dirty work done, and they were able to do that.
Yeah. We're not done here at the Macon Coliseum. We have more on these ladies coming up after the break, so stick with us. We're just getting started here in Macon. Welcome back into Sports Talk. Thank you for joining us here in Macon, Aaron. They say defense wins championships. And that Wilcox County Lady Patriots defense stood up specifically in the second quarter, holding Washington Wilkes to just 5 points.
Yeah, anytime you can hold a team to single digits in a quarter, you have a good outlook for your program. And this, especially when you have an offense that's struggling the way they were. It's really the constant ball pressure. And they do it at all three levels. If you talk about the perimeter guard play, defensively, they can press you. And then when you get inside, Tylea's there to, protect the rim and do things like that. Specifically tonight, I thought Kamari did a really good job on ball pressure from some of those girls from Washington Wilkes. I thought she did a good job of creating turnovers, forcing them to do things they didn't want to do. And like I said, Kamari's kind of the unsung hero on this team. And when she's having games like that, it's definitely going to go a long way in how Wilcox performs. This is a team that really kind of signifies what a team win is about. This wasn't really a one person. Yes, Tylea did it offensively, but a unit on defense. It was really a complete team win.
Yeah, complete team win. Not only Tylea, Shamari backed her up in points. She had 10 points, 14 points actually, 10 rebounds. So she also had a double-double. She's special to the team. What have you seen from her specifically this season that she's improved on from last year?
I think coach talks a lot about her IQ. She does know the game very well, but she's super athletic. And I think this year, even more so than last year, she's using that on both ends of the floor. The rebounding specifically, you mentioned she had double-digit rebounds. She out-jumps girls all the time, and I think that goes a long way. When you can have your guards getting inside the paint, grabbing rebounds, that means Tylea is not the only one down there that's banging for those boards. So I think she's matured a lot. I think last year sometimes she would take herself out of games by mentally locking up and just, getting frustrated. Tonight was a perfect example. She had some missed free throws. She wasn't knocking down shots early. She had some fouls, but she stayed in it, stayed poised, and it showed down the stretch.
Yeah, she was actually 3 of 15 for field goals, and then for free throws, she was 8 of 15.
Yeah, so she didn't shoot the ball well at all, but
No.
her defense made a huge impact, and her hustle on the floor, she's diving for loose balls, and I think that was the difference this year versus years in the past.
Yeah, let's listen and see what she had to say after this win.
Shamari is our almost like our motor. She has to be on the floor. She has a very high IQ of the ball game. So if we can keep her calm, she keeps things under control. We're looking for big things out of her within the next season. But hey, we're just gonna celebrate.
Hey. You talk about this team, Aaron, and the future of it. We alluded to it a little bit, but I feel like tonight we saw what the future of this team looked like. Zariah Martin, she only had 3 points tonight.
Yeah, she's
Senior.
kind of taken a back seat the past couple of games offensively, which I don't want to say is a good thing, but for the future, it is a good thing because now you can win without her offense. And I think the one place they'll have to find over the offseason is how are they going to replace her perimeter defense, because she does a really good job of freshening the ball, that tandem of her and Shamari up top. But outside of that, I think the poise in the big moments, the ball handling, you're going to miss some things like that. But I think it bodes well knowing that you can get a win in a tight game, a defensive game without her scoring. It does bode well for what Wilcox has in the future.
I want to give you some numbers right here because these really stood out to me. Washington Wilkes scored 21 points off turnovers. And then they also had 14 fast break points compared to Wilcox County's 2. They also had 10 points off the bench compared to Wilcox County's 0. But you said it while we were in there. Sometimes you're just a better team, and that seemed to be the case tonight for the Wilcox County Lady Patriots.
Championship medal. They've been here before, and no matter what, they were going to come away with the win. They probably did get outplayed in most areas, but their poise and their willingness to just be resilient and never back down, it showed. And that's a good Washington Wilkes team. They're better than last year.
Way better than they were last year.
And I think they're probably going to be back again next year, but it just goes to show you what this team of Wilcox County is made of. And again, it's a team win.
Yeah.
It's a gritty win. And like Coach said, it was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard.
2 seniors, Leslie and Zariah, moving on, going to college. 3 of those 5 starters returning. Will we be back here next year covering the Patriots?
I'm talking 3P. Rochelle, get ready, because I already told Coach, I got high expectations. When you win once, I'm asking you to do it again. Well, you won twice. I'm asking you, do it again. 3 times.
Well, Aaron, you said it. Hopefully we'll be back here next year. But like I said, we're not going anywhere just yet. We had another team bring home a state title, and it was those Clinch County Panthers. We're breaking their game against Portal down after this break. Roll, Red, roll.
Roll, Red, roll.
Roll, Red, roll.
Hey, I love
Come
the
on,
shirt.
get out the paper. Come on,
oh,
join
yeah,
me.
oh, yeah.
Roll,
I thought I
Red,
got too much in my hand. Roll, Red, roll, baby.
Let's hold this up. State championships. We're adding this one on our desk right next to the Girls State Championship newspaper.
First time.
Clinch County. Big CC.
I love that they give us the merch.
Yeah.
We love the merch. I love that they provide us the merch. We're starting to build a collection from Clinch County. It's starting to get a little crazy.
Yeah, it is. Our first boys state championship team. Before we get into the highlights, just how special was this one?
Man, I can't even explain what this team was able to accomplish. We've been talking about Clinch County getting over the hump for a number of years. And we come into this season, and I'll be honest, a little bit under the radar for me. Aaron Bryant leaves. We're like, they're good. We don't know how good. And they're slowly, every time I look up, they're 16-1, 17-2. And I'm like, we got to get out there. And then you get to go see them play. You're like, man, they're good. Like, we get to see them run through the playoffs. This team, what they were able to do, it really was special, because I did not see this coming, but they did.
2023-2024 season, they make it to the Elite 8. 2024-2025 season, Sweet 16 exit. 2025-2026 season, the state championships. Let's get into these highlights.
Doesn't get any better than that.
A Final Four as a player. Terrence George looking for a championship trophy as a head coach. Clinch County hosting Portal. A back and forth first 16 minutes. Kamarian Johnson hits Shakari Posley from the top of the circle.
He can out-physical you down low and has a smooth jumper. Big offensive presence for the Panthers today.
Rebounding a big factor tonight. Kais Mingo, a grown man board. Put back good. Clinch County down 3 midway through the second. Posley this time to the cup. 15-7 for the junior. The Panthers with a 4-point lead at the break. Second half, all Panthers, Aaron.
Yeah, Clinch County dominated the paint. Fred Causey, physical down low, gets the putback here, and really the deciding factor was inside.
The sophomore Travion Miller led the Panthers in scoring and rebounding. 8 for 15 from the field for 25. And just like that, the semis walks it off with a slam and with authority. Clinch County outscores Portal 35-19. The final 16 minutes, the first state championship for the boys program since 1989.
It's been a long time coming for us. It's been a long time coming for myself. I've been at Clinch for 21 years now, just working and grinding each day, trying to be a successful basketball coach. And today it happened, Today it happened.
Started in when we were little leagues, so it just every summer just playing AAU, getting better and better. We knew we was good. We just had to put in the work and broadcast, show everybody that we was really like that.
Aaron, such a huge win for them, bringing home this state title, and they wouldn't have got it done without, God, this guy Travion Miller, he's something special.
Man, you just think about, you actually talked to him about coming out of nowhere during football season. And his presence of being a sophomore, but being a team leader, it really shows. You can tell he's the quarterback. His athleticism, he jumps out the gym, first of all. His athleticism is crazy, and you can see it. He rebounds well. His poise, he never gets too high, never gets too low. And when you have somebody on your team that's an underclassman that can play with that type of poise, it really sets the tone for a team. And this Clinch County team, as a whole, could have easily, they got down a little bit early. They could have just folded up and said, hey, we made the state championship. They didn't do that. They believed, and it was a really a great win. But Travion really stood out to me. He played excellent.
Yeah, like you said, 25 points, 12 rebounds for Travion. Let's listen to these stats. He just had 12 points in the first half and just 4 rebounds.
Yeah, and then he finishes with 25 and 12.
Yeah.
So really the second half, we talked about the rebounding being a big part of that. He was attacking the glass, offensive boards and defensive boards. His physical ability for being, again, so young, I can't even imagine where he's going to be 2 years from now.
Yeah, his ceiling is very high, and our very own sports reporter, Mackenzie Blades, caught up with him after the win.
25 points tonight, 12 boards, just a casual double-double. What was working tonight?
It's just that's my regular game. Nothing special. That's what I practice for.
Only a sophomore leading your team. How have you taken on that role and dealt with that pressure?
You said what?
You're only a sophomore leading your team as point guard. How have you taken on that role and kind of dealt with the pressure?
I've been playing with these boys my whole life. It's nothing new to me. We've been playing together since we were like 8 years old, so it's just regular to me.
He talked about this team so special. He said they've been playing together since they were about 8 years old, and that chemistry showed up big time tonight.
Yeah, chemistry, togetherness, band of brothers, whatever it was, they've been playing together a long time, and you can tell.
Yeah, playing together a long time, still a lot more time to go with this team. And we'll break down the future of the Clinch County Panthers when we come back. Okay, Aaron, Clinch County comes out with the win tonight. This game was tied at 12 after the first quarter. Clinch goes up 4 at halftime. Then they come out in the third quarter and outscore Portal 16-6.
You know, we talk a lot about how are you going to make adjustments at halftime. Coaches want to go in there. They want to say, hey, this is what we're doing right. This is what we're doing wrong. Whatever Coach George said, it worked because I saw a different level in the second half. But specifically, I want to talk about the defense because in the first half, Portal was knocking out shots from the outside. And I kept telling Blaze, I said, hey, that's okay. If they're going to force them to shoot outside shots, they're going to eventually miss those shots. It's going to be too hard, especially when you get tired. Those legs start to wear down in the second half. And you saw that. They started missing shots. And Clinch County started making theirs, and they were inside layups, getting fouls, going to the free throw line. That was a big, big difference. And I think the physicalness that Clinch County plays with was the deciding factor today.
Yeah, Clinch County outscored Portal 38-16 in the paint. So like you said, a big
domination.
Yeah, they very much so dominated down low in the paint. Shout out to Big Blaze for that one. But Coach and Jakiri talked about their game plan and strategy around post paints after the game.
At halftime, it was clear to win this game, we're going to have to dominate the paint. And so we got to keep going to the paint with the basketball. We got to also go and rebound and keep those guys off the backboards. And so we did a great job rebounding in the second half and came out with a victory.
The plan was to come in, get them in foul trouble, attack the rim, knowing that the rims are stiff and wouldn't go our way with our shots falling. So we drove to the paint, got fouls, made our free throws, and came out on top.
They got to the line, made their free throws, came out on top. We talked about this team having one senior in Fred Causey, who we love watching during football season. But I want to read their starting lineup. Travian Miller, sophomore. MVP, Kamarian Johnson, junior. Kais Mingo, junior. Jakari Posley, junior. Shane Burns, a freshman.
You might as well put the Drake CD in now, back to back. I'm telling you, we might go 3P and back to back next year here in Macon with Clinch County. It seems like these young teams, I always say, if you can steal one when you're young,
yeah,
man. And we've talked about it with Monroe when they were freshmen. They weren't able to steal one. And then you have now Wilcox was able to get one. They got two today. And now Clinch gets one when they're young. I can only imagine what this team's going to come back and be next year. I'm really excited for it. But I do think that they should take this and celebrate it because it's been a long time. It's been over 35 years.
Yeah.
And Homerville, like I said, they deserve it. They always show up for their community. And the kids showed out tonight.
Since 1989 that they have seen a state title on the boys' side in Homerville. And like we said, the catalyst for this team tonight was Travian Miller, just a sophomore. And he let us know he has a lot more in the tank.
It's a lot more to come, man. I'm still training for a lot. This is just the beginning. Tell them stay ready.
Okay, Aaron, that wraps up. That puts a bow on our basketball season. This was a good year. It flew by, though, because we had a lot of state championship football teams. And then
I think that's what it was. I think football went so long. We had those 2 state championship teams. We come back with basketball. We try to get started in January. We're like, okay, we got to catch up. Who's the good teams, who's not? And then we capped basketball off with 2 more championships.
Yeah.
I told you, we're winners.
Yeah.
So we're going to win. And, you know, that's what we do.
A really, really great year. Excited for Blaze to have witnessed this with us. But what will be the bow on the season for me? Tomorrow night, the Community Heroes basketball game, you and Blaze both combined for 50 points.
50?
Yeah.
That means she's got to drop 30 because I'm dropping 20.
Double for both of y'all.
Listen, it's a really cool, fun environment. I'm excited for Blaze to get an opportunity to play in it and, you know, kind of make her, like, stamp herself into Albany. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here. I'm part of the sports team.
Bang it down low.
Yeah, she's going to be doing her thing down low. I'm going to get it to her in the post a few times and see if she can give me a little baby hook like Shaq back in the day.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to knock down a couple of threes and then take my butt back to the bench.
Okay, so we'll have a little bit more basketball tomorrow night in the locker room report starting at 11 o'clock p.m. We'll have highlights from the Community Heroes game, some more wrap-up from here from Macon. But until then, that's all we have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. From Aaron Mukes, I'm Morgan Jackson.